Hello and welcome to lesson 15, my final lesson for this seminar. Today I'm going to talk to you about how to present as well as a TED Talk. So I took information about how to create a TED Talk, and I'm doing it because this is really all the information I found is a great summary of the things I've told you about that you should be doing to have a great presentation. TED Talk, not TED Talk, just a great presentation, a great public speaking experience. All right, so first of all, I've told you before, people have short attention spans. We all know, we all do it. And so a really great opening and a really great closing are really important. So when you're thinking about your opening, think about what I've mentioned about how we decide where to pause, about telling an anecdote, about making it personal. Because those are kinds of introductions really draw in the audience, and when they're drawn in, then you can keep them by giving them the information after you've introduced it in a very strong and powerful way. In the comment section below, I'm going to give you obviously a lot of TED Talks about how to talk, how to give public speaking, how to give the best presentation. So set some time after this lesson. If you've gotten into the rhythm of watching one video every few days, then keep going by watching a TED Talk every few days from this list about public speaking. Okay? They're usually about 7 to 15 minutes each one. Okay. Another thing they said was to make it personal. Give a personal disclosure to relate your message. So again, we mentioned this. If you want your audience to really be engaged, you have to give something from your personal life. It doesn't have to be a secret. If you've killed someone, you don't have to tell your audience that you've killed someone. The point is, even a description of my anecdote was about what my tattoos mean. That's personal to me. It's personal enough, even though tattoos are on the outside and you can see them. Giving the story behind them is more personal. It's sharing something from yourself to the people you're talking to. And that's a big connector. Engaging the audience by actually talking to them is another way to connect with your audience. I think it was last class I mentioned, comment on the weather, comment on the room itself that you're standing in, comment about the mood in the room. If people seem energized and happy, say something about it. If they seem a little gloomy, say that you noticed and say that you'll keep it short. Interacting with the audience in general is a great way to show them that you're there for them. Another way to interact with your audience is the rhetorical question, which we talked about, because it makes them think about the answer, even though they're not expected to say it out loud. You can also ask questions and have the audience respond. That's also a great way to interact with your audience, right? All right. Tell the story your way. We talked about Louis C.K. and his joke telling. We talked about humor. And even if you then click on other humorists, other stand-up comedians, even if you have a favorite stand-up comedian, you don't have to talk like them. You can just talk like you. Tell your anecdote. Compare your feelings with other things or other people's feelings. Don't try to be somebody else. Just be you. That's enough. That's more than enough. All right. Another tip was, don't think about your information as, I have to get this information out to people. Try to think of your information as, people will love knowing this. That's the difference between my experience as a presenter and thinking about your audience as in, what's going to really captivate them, what's going to be interesting to them, and how can I answer the question, why should they even listen to me to begin with? That's an important question you should ask yourself every time you give a presentation. Why should they listen to me? Why should you guys listen to what I have to say? Hopefully by lesson 15, you know I've already set up 14 other lessons that prove that, yes, this is efficient, this is good methodology, this way works, and you will get something from it. Will you get the same as a paid program? I don't know. But I've been teaching long enough to know that if you've come to lesson 15, you've already improved. I'm sure of it. 100%. I'm sure you've improved. Not just maintained, but actually improved. Okay. Another piece of advice. Show what it is, and then show what it could be. So one of the TED Talks tips was, first, show the situation as it is today, right? Today we do A, B, and C. It's this efficient. It's this bad. It's getting worse. It's whatever it is, right? Because, the TED Talks are a lot about how to cure cancer, how to make people see who can't see. Today we can only do this, but the possibilities are endless, right? They're infinite possibilities. So set up your presentation, whatever your public speaking is, set it up with, this is the way we see things now, but we could see them in this way, right? So today and the future. That storytelling, building it in a story like that is very positive for your audience. It gets them excited about the information. Again, another tip was use your voice. We talked about this. Monotone is boring. If you are excited, your voice should be going up and down. You should be using your volume, right? We didn't talk about this, but you may have noticed when I get excited, I start to talk a little bit louder and a little bit faster because I'm emphasizing, I'm getting excited. Okay. So we talked, okay. Pace and pauses. So we talked about using hand gestures and eye contact and smiling. All of those are a way of pacing yourself, making sure you're not speaking too quickly, because when we're uncomfortable, we want it to end. We want it to be over. So pacing is really important. Pausing. Not only did we talk about pausing in general as a tool, but also in humor. You saw pausing was so important. If Louis C.K. just blah, 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 no pauses, it wouldn't be as effective. The same thing is true if you have strong or important information. Just stop talking and give your important information and then stop talking again. That break really indicates to people, this is the important part, this is the part I should be paying attention to. Talked about using visuals, of course. TED Talks have a screen behind them and they always use visuals. I hope to add visuals to my talks so that if you've watched it once, you can then go back and watch it again and be like, oh, there's a cartoon here, or there's an image here. I'm just a beginner, so for now I'm just going to have it not have visuals. That's my ability right now. Okay.